Hello there, and welcome to another War Factory attack. We are... I can't even remember what this base is called. I guess we're going after Bob for today, June the 22nd. I decided I wanted to mix it up a little bit. I hope this base is called Bob. We're gonna. I wanted to change it up a little bit because frequently I've just kind of been going in from the left-hand side and charging through, and I decided, hey, you know what? There's a bunch of rocket launchers over here on the right-hand side of the HQ. We're gonna call it, I don't know, 1:30, 2 o'clock-ish. And I was thinking, all right, if we clear those out, there's not a lot else over on this right-hand side that's scary. So as you can see, I also have some Grens loaded up. I don't know why, I just figured, like, it felt like a Grennie kind of day. Yeah, I think that's okay to say. So I was thinking, alright, you know, like, if I take out the rocket launchers, then I can drop the Grens down on the beach, everything will be nice and safe, and then I can kind of blow up boxes, basically, build up some GBE, and then use that to bomb out some things. And unfortunately, I kind of realized I wasn't going to have the energy I'd require to take out the fourth rocket launcher, so I had to leave it as it stood. But that was okay because I actually had the three, and I think that's the key, three boats of the medics. So at first, from the left-hand side, obviously you're going to get pounded by the rocket. From the right-hand side, you're going to get pounded by the mortar. I would strongly suggest targeting the mortar. Make sure you take it out as quickly as possible because it almost one-shots the Grens. And now, as usual, I'm not running any kind of a boost, so if you rock like a troop health boost, it might help a little bit. You know, at least it'll give you a little more of a buffer, because I ended up, as you could see, running out of energy just trying to keep my Grens standing, because I didn't trust the medics to be able to handle the mortar on the one side and the rocket launcher on the other side. So long story short, as you can see, everything kind of got cleared up in the corner, and then it was just the rocket launcher that was tossing some pain down on my Grens, and it was completely cool. I just kind of started coasting along. Now, here's what I kind of don't like about this attack is I sort of got gun shy, and I was just like, well, I'm bailing, and I realized, like, oh man, I had 60 energy. I could have very easily thrown some shocks onto the mortars and /or rocket launchers and /or boom cannons, and like I could have used that energy and cleared out this section just that much more, but I like wasn't really thinking about it, and I was like, oh yeah, I can barrage and artillery the rocket launcher as I'm retreating. Unfortunately, if you retreat, it cuts off the attack and cuts off your artillery and barrage. Not like, you know, if your troops, say, all died off, and then, you know how, like, your artillery and barrage can kind of keep the clock going that little bit extra. So yeah, I kind of bungled it. I did a little bit of a beardy bork there, but that's alright. And then I decided, okay, attack number 2, I'm just going to do a bunch of GBE. I'm going to clear out the last of that rocket launcher, clear out the mortar. Everything will be fantastic. We will win the internet and call it a day. And then I was like, hey, you know what? Actually, I still have all these Grens. So I kind of partway through this attack changed up my strategy. What I would suggest doing if you know, plan on taking this route, instead take out this machine gun. Don't take out the mortars or the rocket launcher, because you can land all your Grens, flare them over into the right hand corner, and basically work your way around from there. And what's going to happen is eventually your Grens are going to end up on those mortars, and they're going to start hitting the mortars, doing some pretty decent damage, but the overthrow is going to take out that stupid rocket launcher. So instead I kind of used up some of my extra energy going up the right hand side here, just clearing a few extra buildings. Honestly, probably could have been done in the first attack had I paid better attention, more attention, I don't know. So, attack number 2 is kind of a weird quasi-GBE attack. I would suggest, rather than using it for GBE, keep using those Grens, if you've got the Grens and if you can pull it off. If you don't, then, you know, run some Zookas up in there and start blowing things up. It'll work in the grand scheme of things. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm just so excited to have 5 minutes of silence. The dog's been a little excited. Currently, I'm pretty sure he's eating, so we're safe. We're good. Now, on the second, I guess, Gren attack, I ended up losing a lot more Grens than I had initially intended, because I sort of just let them roam out there, and it wasn't planned out. It was kind of like ad hoc. I just sort of did what I did. So when you're doing that, you know, plan your attack a little better, figure out where you're going to drop your critters and your shocks, and hopefully it'll be a lot more successful with a lot fewer losses. Now, final attack, obviously AZ taking down the HQ. I used the corner to kind of gather up the Zookas, and then, well, sorry, the one corner to gather up the Zookas, the other corner to sort of group them together and keep them nice and tight. And then I ran them up to the box because I knew I could use that as an anchor point, and then nice and easy right up into, well, again, I'm going to call this like, what, 130-ish? From the HQ. A little bit of a double smoke just because I knew they'd spread out a bit when I targeted the HQ, and then it's like 3 shocks, I want to say, 2 shocks, and very easily take down the HQ. Like, honestly, all of the prep work wasn't even really necessary, but it makes life a little bit easier. And if you do that prep work and you can't pull off, you know, the AZ, at least it'll be a little bit easier for you. Now, because I was feeling so Grennie, I also decided, you know what, I'm going to throw in my Callisto attack. Callisto? Khaleesi? Yeah, I'm going to go with Callisto. So, I obviously am loading Sparky up first. Really, the whole point of my attack is to reduce the number of shocks and smokes and/or smokes required to take down the HQ. I think currently with the setup and the actual defenses and stuff, if I remember correctly, we worked it out to be about 7 shocks. So I thought, alright, I'm going to run Sparky into the back. I can take out 2 rocket launchers with Sparky. That will reduce by 1 shock. Unfortunately, another beardy bork. I didn't realize my flare had run out as I was walking up, so Sparky actually ended up outside of where I smoked and in the AoE and just obviously got ruined. So there's 1 shock not prevented. However, what I was able to do is start dropping all of the Grens. And when I say all of the Grens, I really mean all of the Grens. I decided to go 8-boat Gren for this attack, mostly because when it comes right down to it, the sniper towers and the cannons and stuff are going to one-shot it. All I've got to do is take out that solo RL, and then I can, you know, save that shock at least, because I failed on my first attempt. But the real advantage of my attack is I'm trying to open up the entire left-hand side instead of having, you know, the person after me have to go through and smoke part of their landing and work their way up the left through smokes. I just want to clear a path. And I gotta say, it worked out pretty good. I had a few mishaps, few poor placements, I guess you could say. But all in all, it kind of worked out nicely. So, obviously, taking out the cannon's key, and just making sure they're not on the beach. And once I kind of got down and got this I guess, first cannon down nearest the beach, the Zooka start spreading all out again, because after getting the initial pods, I had to flare them all together. They clump up, they go into the kill zone, they start getting shot, bad things happen. So I figured, okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to let them re-spread out, get back into that save zone, and see what kind of damage we can do. As you can see, when you have 8... Hold on. Now I'm asking myself to do some math here. What is it? 32 Grens? Hold on. 4, and yeah, that's 32. Holy smokes, that's a lot of Grens. But because with the Grens, really numbers matter incredibly. I was able to, even though I lost a couple, still do really good damage, clear out a whole bunch of the stuff, and help what eventually led to someone else doing way better attacks and finishing off the base. But that's pretty much it. Thanks very much, guys, for watching. Hopefully this has been helpful. Hopefully it's been entertaining. And above all else, hopefully you guys have a fantastic day.